Let me do it one more time because it just makes me feel good. Welcome back, folks, to Random Rod Shop. In the last video and the video before that, we've been working on the tailgate on the back of this international pickup that we made into a short wide bed and we stuck on a 2002 Tahoe chassis. I never anticipated this tailgate was going to cause so much pain, given that the truck is in pretty good shape. I mean, it's rusty. Yeah, I got to fix the rockers, maybe some cab corners, but the truck is actually pretty solid. The back of the bed, however, is a mess. We used it on the farm to haul just about everything. Round bales, scrap steel, you name it, we hauled it with this truck. I don't know that we ever had actually I know, we never had a tailgate on this truck. And so over time, the bed sides have kind of come in. The tailgate is off my wife's grandpa's truck. He had a 73. This is 1970. He had a 73. He bought it brand new. And he worked it on the farm too. The tailgate is mangled. Every spot weld is... well, that's not true. Not every spot weld is broke out, but it's bent and twisted. And we've been kicking it around on the farm for, I don't know, 30 years. So it's got... You know, it's been set up this way at times, it's been set up this way at times, it's been kicked around. When I went and got it, it was laying in the pasture. I don't know when we kicked it around, you know, put it there, but it's kind of a mess. That combined with the back of the bed is all busted. You can go back and watch the last video and kind of see what we got into with the driver's side. As it turns out, I ended up having to cut the corner brace out of the passenger side and open this up so that I could put a brace in, and it's cut loose now. But I had to push this passenger side out about a ½ inch. Okay, the good news is this thing actually closes. I'm pretty damn excited, I gotta tell you. I'm just pretty excited. So, what we're gonna do in this is I'm gonna try to clean some of the rust out of this, throw some rust converter in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and paint it. So this is going to take a little bit of time. I need to let the rust converter do its thing, and then I need to paint it. Then we're going to put this back on. It was mangled too, so I've kind of flattened it out as best I can. I need to go ahead and do the wire brush thing on the back of it and rust convert it and paint it. Then we're going to see if we can get that thing set on here, because I got to have that, put the hinge on. The hinge is going to need a little bit of work too, but before we go down that path, I really want to try to get this panel welded back on. This top edge, I've had to beat and bend and say a lot of nice things to it, so it's kind of wavy. So I anticipate that this front edge isn't really going to line up with what I cut off. So we're going to work on that. Let me go get the wire brush and I've got it hooked up on a drill, and I'll get back when I get that hooked up, and I'll put it on time lapse, and we'll watch a little bit of wire brushing, and I'll see if I can find some music to go with it. So I'll get back to you. Okay, folks, working on this old beat up stuff is always a surprise. So let me show you what I just discovered. So I've been working diligently on this tailgate, and you can see that the way this works is this, this door lock looking thing goes into a, I'm assuming goes into a receiver, or just basically a plate with a hole in it. And when you shut the tailgate, it pushes that back and it goes in. Pretty standard in my mind. However, here's what we got. It doesn't look anything like that. Let me shut the tailgate here. I don't know if I can get that around there to see that or not. Hang on a second. Yeah, there we go. So the latching mechanism on a 1973, which is what this green tailgate is, and a 1970 International pickup, they don't look anything alike. So, as my granddaughter would say, seriously? So, I've got my son going out in the pasture over to his house. He's going to look at the bed that came on, that matches this green pickup. He's going to have a look at it. But in the end, we're going to have to somehow adapt whatever is on that green bed, that 1973. We're going to have to adapt that to this. Now, hopefully it just bolts on, but at this point, I don't have any idea. So once I get some resolution on the questions, I will get back to you. Okay, we made it back. My kid went over to the other pasture and went down and pulled off the brackets. Let me see here. Here we go. So this is what they look like. I don't know, can you see that? There you go. All right, so this little ear, or whatever it's called, slips into the tailgate and the latch goes through and connects it. Pretty simple. So I've already monkeyed with this side over here and put it on. It's interesting that in the original tailgate there's all kinds of stuff. So it has this bracket, which is aluminum, kind of strange for an International. This bracket bolts on up here, and sure enough, there's some stiffener plates behind this. I don't know why they didn't put any stiffener plates behind the tailgate hinge itself, but there's a 1/4-inch steel there that's stiffener plate for this. Okay, so this bolt has a shoulder on it. I don't know, can you see it there? This bolt here has a shoulder. That actually is where the tailgate, the strap that keeps it from falling down, that's where it connects. This, as near as I can tell, is like a bear claw latch. So I don't know what kind of latch mechanism the earlier Internationals had, but this reminds me of a bear claw latch that, you put on. It's an aftermarket latch you put on Model Ts, Model As, 32s, right, to keep the doors from opening. I can tell you from experience that the body flexes a lot on those old cars, and if you ain't careful, the doors come open on it. If you have to be leaning against the door when the door comes open, guess what? Your ass is rolling down the highway. Don't ask me how I know that. Okay, that's what was on there. What we put back on there is actually a whole lot simpler. On these hinges, this ear actually serves as a guide to align the tailgate, and it latches. So kind of a one shot. I guess I forgot, where's that other piece at? Oh, this piece here. So this piece was bolted on right here, and it's nothing more than a guide to guide the tailgate, right? To keep the tailgate lined up in there and centered up. So it had lots of pieces. The newer style, which kind of makes sense that they changed it now that I see how everything operates, because from a manufacturing standpoint, this is a lot cheaper, right? Bend a piece of metal, bolt it onto the bed, it aligns the tailgate, and it latches the tailgate, all in one. So what I did is I got a piece of 1/4-inch steel here, and I drilled some holes in it to match up with the holes in the bracket, and I aligned it with the latches in the tailgate. Really wasn't, it's not any more complicated than that. Once you figure out what's going on, it's not that complicated. Of course, you got to have these stinking things. So we got lucky. We had these. That was about all that was on that bed. My young son said that everything was busted out on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the other side. I gotta drill a couple of holes, and I'll put the camera around here and kind of shine it that way so you can see what I'm doing. And we're going to get on down the road. Oh, well, moment of truth. I can't help to be just a little bit of apprehensive. This thing has just about kicked my butt. So let me move the camera back a little bit and we'll both figure out at the same time. All right, maybe that's close enough. Well, let me lower this side of the bed. It looks like it's a little high. Well, do I have this one further in? This one is sticking out that way just a little more than the other one. Let's loosen it up and see if we can help that. I'm gonna have to raise the tailgate back up. Apparently it's too low and is hitting the back of the bed here. Well, it would appear I need to do just a slight adjustment. Well, let me lower this side of the bed. It looks like it's a little high. Now, I'll raise the bed up after we check this, or raise the tailgate up. Whoa, wasn't that fun? My makeshift light decided to be more makeshift than I wanted it to. Now what's hitting? Ah, I see. Well, that thing's got to go up some more. I wonder if I can knock myself in the head again here. Oh, there we go. All right. All right, so I'm wondering if I got those holes in the wrong stinking place. Because it looks like that's where that needs to be. Okay, so on that side, well, that's just not quite happy. Oh, all right. I think what I did was I got the holes in that reinforcement plate just a little bit too far from the side. And so I'll show you when we get it out of here. I just thought I was being clever. Still dropped that thing down in there. Oh, that's special. It didn't fall all the way through. Oh, it was right there at the top. Okay. Okay, so what I think I did is, let's see, can you see that? Yeah, so what I think I did is I got these holes too far that way from this side. And this side isn't actually clearing the bend in the bed. Or where this metal's folded right here. Can you see? Yeah, you can see that. Metal's folded here. I don't think that's actually going in, and it's cocking this, which is cocking cocking the hood hinge. So let me take this thing to the grinder, and we're gonna modify it just a little bit. Okay, let's try this again. Still warm. Oh, better get it right the first time. I don't know. What do you think the chances are? I don't know. Let's see here. Oh, that needed to go up, didn't it? Okay. Well, it definitely fits better back there. I don't know. But we're going to try it. What is it hitting? Well, I raised that tailgate up too much. You know, you guys watch Built by Jeff. He's down in Australia. You know, one of his mottos is anything worth doing is worth doing twice. I think I got him beat. Apparently, anything worth doing is worth doing about 4 or 5 times. let's see if that works. Oh, well, okay. I went the wrong way, folks. Well, that side just does not want to go in, so what am I hitting? Oh, what happened here? Well, it would appear my dead cat keeps falling off. I need to get the layer. Okay. It would appear that the latch isn't going all the way in. Okay. That may be why this tailgate was taken off. Man, that just looks bent. Let's have a look at that again. Compare it to the other side. Well, it's got just a little bit of a bend in it. You know what? Before I start heating and bending stuff, let me shim that out a little bit and see if that's part of the problem. This ear is pulled in. It looks like more than that side, and it means that the latch mechanism has to come in quite a bit further than that side, so maybe that's part of the problem. You know what, I think I'm going to file those holes out a little bit to give me a little more clearance that way too. Let me get this out of here. What happened to my fang-dangle pliers? Oh, there they are. Okay. Well, let's do a little more filing on that. Well, let's see if that's enough to give it enough room. I don't know. I'm not convinced. Well, there is still something. What am I missing here? I don't know. Well, it would appear something else is still binding. Don't know what it's going to take to fix it, but that tailgate's definitely got to come up. Looks like we're going to have to do some more work on this corner up here. Yeah, that tailgate's definitely got to come up. Boy, I sure felt like that was too much. Let's give it a try. I wonder if there's any adjustment in that hinge itself. Let's see. Down. Well, it looks like that body line on that bed is pretty close to the top of that tail light on both sides. All right, so what do we got going on here? Well, my 5-minute job to kind of try to close out this video turned out to be a little longer. The battery died. It was still showing record, but actually, I don't know what the hell it was showing. It had the battery with the, like the Ghostbuster symbol with a battery. So until I start editing this tonight, I have no idea where this thing cut off. But let me walk you through what ultimately was the problem. So I'm going to take the camera off, and because we got some more stuff to talk about down here. Okay, so here's the brackets that came off the other bed over at my son's house, and I thought these things I thought these things were supposed to have just a little bit of inward bow on them, but apparently that's not. Now, the reality of it is probably my wife's grandpa, if he treated his pickup anything like Dottie and I treated this white one, he probably tore the tailgate off of it and then wrapped a chain between here and the other one to keep stuff from falling out. Anyway, that's frustrating. So I took just a small tack hammer, just tapped it a little bit and straightened it up, and the tailgate shuts. Let me do it one more time because it just makes me feel good. This side was the one that was mangled, and that actually looks pretty good. You see I got sheet metal screws in. I had to bust all the welds on that thing and reshape it. And yeah, this tailgate's about kicked my butt. Still got to do a lot of work on this corner, but I can't tell you how stinking happy I am that a tailgate shuts on it. All right, let me open the tailgate again. Actually, while the tailgate's shut, let me show you what I ultimately did to get this thing to line up, because it wasn't square, right? I had I put the 2x4 across to get the 65 inches, but it was like a parallelogram, right? So I fought and fought and fought and fought. In the end, I came out this morning and said, I am done. So I took the corner brace out yesterday or the day before, I forget, and I took the cutoff wheel and I pretty much cut this inside, this whole corner loose. You can see there's just maybe you can see it. Let me get a pointer here. You can see that the cut goes all the way to here, so this really is all that's left. Once I got that cut, I took my square, put in a corner, and I welded in a corner brace so this thing doesn't move. I did the same thing over here, although this one I just didn't want to move any more than it was. It was pretty square. Apparently when I did all the welding down here, I drew in the bottom, and so it's slightly tilted out. Before I cut this brace out, I'm going to cut the spot welds on that corner braces down there, try to relieve some tension, and then weld it all back together. So this thing, when I weld it together again, it hopefully is going to be square. But I can tell you, I'm not cutting those braces out until the whole back of this pickup is welded together. As I was digging into it, there's some rust here. This section here, which is supposed to be which is supposed to be spot welded to the top of this corner brace, it wasn't even connected. And I got some rust down in here. I need to cut out a little patch down there and fix that. But I think I'm going to save that for a later day. I am tired of working on the tailgate at this point. Let me put you back on the tripod for a minute. I got the stand under so I could sit on this corner. It feels so good to sit on the tailgate. Man, like a kid in Christmas. Anyway, yesterday was Thanksgiving. I hope you guys all had a great Thanksgiving. Spend time with the family. Give thanks. Family is, that's what the world is all about. So I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I think we're going to wrap this video up, and I appreciate you watching. For the returning guys, I appreciate you coming back. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, make a comment. And next time, we're going to try to get the automatic shifter hooked up in this, and hopefully we're going to mount the radiator. Just to give you a little teaser, it would appear that a square body Chevy shifter will allow you to hook up an international steering column to a 4L60 transmission. I think so anyway. Anyway, until next time, thanks again.